Happy day, children. Welcome to yet another class of Class 5 Mathematics. In this class, we'll be learning a new chapter, that is representing information in graphical forms. So, children, whenever you watch a cricket match, you would have seen in between they put some data representation in the form of a graph, a circle graph or a line graph. And when you watch the news channel, or when your father's he is busy doing his share market or something, you would have always seen the graph in that. So we are going to learn about graph in this chapter. So before we learn the graph, let's see what is the learning objective. You will be able to read and interpret pictograph, bar graph, circle graph and line graph. That means you will be able to understand the graph, and also you will be able to extract the data from the graph. By looking at the graph, you will be able to extract the data from it. And also, once you know how to learn how to read and extract the data, you will be also able to represent the data, and you can also draw the graph on your own. So let's see what is the first topic. So before we start, it's a recalling, right? So you have learned about tally mark in the last class, that is grade 4. So what is tally mark? Again, you will get a group of information or a set of information, and you extract the data from it and you represent the data in the form of lines, that is tally marks. So as you can see, there's given a favorite part of Christmas, a number of people. So each line represents number 1, and this particular group represents 5. After drawing 4 lines, you put a slash line which denotes 5. So decorating the tree, there are total 9 members. Opening present, 11 members. Playing in snow, 4 members. Carols and music, 3 members. Time with friends and family, 6 members. Christmas food, 2 members. So this is how, by looking at a tally mark chart, you can extract the data. So as you can see, the number of people is not written, but through the tally mark I can extract the number. So what is data? Data is nothing but collection of information is called as data. So we use this data to further put in different graphs. So whatever information we have, a group or a set of information, we arrange it or we assemble it in a proper sets so that we form a data. So the first one is pictograph. So pictograph is a type of graph where we use pictures to represent the data. So instead of putting tally marks, you can use pictures. So tally marks, one line represent one number. So for very big numbers, you cannot use tally marks because you cannot keep on drawing that many lines. So in that case, you can use a graph, a pictograph, or any other kind of graph. So as you can see, mode of transport, number of students. Mode of transport given is bus, car, walking, bicycle. And below, if you see, the key is given. Each smiley represents 3 children. That means each smiley means 3 children. So for bus, they have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 smileys. So 7 into 3 is 21. So 21 students, they use bus. Similarly, if you see for car, 3 students is represented by 1 smiley. So total 4 smileys. So 4 3s are 12. So 12 students use car. Similarly for walking, if you see 6 smileys, 6 into 3 is 18. So 18 students they go by walking. And bicycle is finally 3 smileys, 3 3s are 9. 9 students use bicycle to go to their school. So this is how you can use a pictograph to represent your data. It is very easy, children. So you can use any picture of your choice. It's not necessary you can use a smiley, you can use a shape, you can use a flower, you can draw even a boy or a girl face, or you can use anything to represent the pictograph. Next comes bar graph. What is a bar graph? A bar chart or a bar graph is a chart or graph that represents data with rectangular bars with height or length proportional to the values. Based on the values, we show different bars of different colors or same colors to represent the value. The bar can be plotted vertically or horizontally. You can use it standing line or sleeping line also, that is vertically or horizontally. Let's see an example of bar graph. As you can see, this is an example of bar graph. This is shown the number of trees planted in the year 2001, and down you can see this is the name of the trees, the variety of the trees that was planted, and this is the number of trees. So in 2001, 17 oak trees were planted. So you can see by looking at the graph, you get an information. This is oak tree and oak is finishing at 70. That means 70 oak trees were planted, and this is maple, which shows 60 maple trees were planted. Pine tree, 80 pine trees were planted, and 50 palm trees, 20 pear trees, and 40 pecan trees were planted. So by looking at this graph, you get an idea that okay, pine tree was the most planted tree in 2001, whereas pear tree is the least planted tree in 2001, and each tree is denoted by different colors. So you can use this bar graph to denote your daily activities, or you can just put number of hours over here and your activities named down, and you can show which activity was done by you for how many hours. So many things. Subjects, you can show bar graph for your marks scored by different scored in different subjects by you. So maths, English, SST, Hindi, Tamil, like that you can put, and you can write the marks over here, and here you can put the subjects, and you can see what is your graph. So simple example is your marks scored by you in different subjects for bar graph. And then comes circle graph. So again children, this is also the data is put in the graph but in a circle form. So as you can see, it is put in percentage. So as you can see, this is a circle. So out of this circle, 30% is represented by carrots, the blue color carrots, 20% is tomatoes. So carrots and tomatoes together, they make 50% of the circle, that is half of the circle, 1/2 of the circle. Zucchini is 15%, squash is 25%, and potatoes 10%. So you can also use a circle graph, or it is also called as pie chart, to represent different data. So there are many graphs, and this is one of the graph that we are learning. So this is also similar to bar graph, but the only thing is we are showing the data in circular form. So carrots, tomatoes, zucchini, squash, potatoes, these are the vegetables, and which is shown in circle graph. Further we move to the last graph, that is line graph. So line graph is also known as line plot or line chart. Is a graph which uses lines to connect individual data points that displays quantitative values over a specified time interval. So children, to make it very clear to you, just a simple thing, line graph is used when to show something which is increasing or decreasing over a period of time. A very easy example is population. So if you see the population, it keeps on increasing, okay. So you can see in 2000 what was the population, 2001, 2002, 2003. Similarly, you can come till 2020. So if you see the graph, the line will go up only. So this line graph is generally used to denote something which shows increasing or decreasing over a period of time. And another example which we can much relate to it is the cricket match. So when you watch a cricket match, in between they show the line graph. So when did the wicket fall? What is the run? They use two different color to denote two different teams. So yellow color, if you watch IPL, yellow color is used to show CSK, whereas blue color is used to show Mumbai Indians. So the line graphs keeps on going, and you can observe it. With the help of the line graph, you come to know who is leading. So next time whenever you watch the match, you are going to relate it with the line graph. So this is an example of line graph which shows the world population over the 15 years span of from 2000 to 2015. As you can see, the line is keeping on increasing. So in 2000 it was around 6.1 billion, and whereas 2015 it has reached 7.2 billion. So line graph is used to denote data which is increasing or decreasing over a particular period of time. So with this we finish the representing information with graphical form. So there are 4 types. One is pictograph, bar graph, circle graph, line graph, and you can also use tally mark to represent. Thank you children.